Well, hello again. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me in another diary entry of this Diary of a Non-Famous Actor that I have one of my first singing auditions this week that I haven't done a lot of singing auditions lately, so this is one that I haven't had in a while, with a bunch of different theaters watching, so like all of their casting directors, associates, maybe their artistic directors, so it's a general audition for a bunch of different theaters in the Seattle area. It's been a really good experience. I've done it in the past. I usually do it every year, but because of this ongoing sinus infection that I have, I figured that it would be important to take some extra steps to try to maintain my vocal health, especially with the song that I'm singing. It's definitely necessary. I've done this song before and it's gone really well, but I want to make sure that I am as peak as I can be, despite the fact that I am still dealing with it, still waiting for the CT scan to get approved by my insurance. So, but I figured I would take you guys along this week and just record some of the things that I'm doing to maintain my vocal health. Hopefully some of them work out. The other thing too, as I was doing some of my goal setting for future of my career and, you know, listing dream roles and whatnot, a lot of them do actually involve singing, and so I'm like, well, maybe I should be taking my vocal health a little more seriously anyway. So this is a good opportunity to kind of figure out what works, what doesn't. So there were a few shots from yesterday, and explaining a few of those, the one of me walking out there in the rain, I saw a post from a vocal coach who works with a lot of Broadway singers, and she talked about how just in general making sure that you're really bundled up, but especially the area around your neck, so around the front and the back. She said it kind of comes from Chinese medicine a bit, where, you know, if there's a draft there, especially compared to other parts of your body, it just leaves you more vulnerable to being sick. And I don't know, to me that kind of makes sense, because I don't know, I feel like that's something that my grandma used to talk about. So that there's probably some truth behind that. And then I also showed some bubble tea, which, you know, there's been a lot of debate about whether caffeine is good for the voice and blah, 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 blah. Is it neutral? Is it bad? And again, looking online, doing some more research, it really depends. It seems like the general consensus is that about around 150 milligrams of caffeine is probably okay, and making sure that you're not drinking it closer to when you're going to be singing. Yesterday, the bubble tea that I had, I looked it up, and it is 150 milligrams exactly of caffeine, so not bad. And then you also saw that I had a sinus rinse, which for having a sinus infection, yesterday I was having a big problem with my sinuses, especially my right side maxillary sinus, which is just right in here. Did not want to show that process because it's kind of nasty, but here we go. I'm gonna finish getting ready and then I'll show you a few things that I'm doing in the morning. All right, so I'm getting ready to head out, but I'll just show you guys here. Before I drink my coffee, I'm going to drink some of this hot tea because I read something about how it's really good for singers to start off with something warm to drink in the morning. Really helps with the vocal cords. And this one is the Echinacea Plus tea, which doesn't have any caffeine in it. It also has elderberry, which I know that people use that for immune health and everything. And this echinacea, I believe it's either a root or an herb. I think it's an herb, and that's really supposed to help as well. So I'll be drinking this once I get to work. I'm off to work and yeah, chat with you. All right, it's lunchtime now and I'm having a second drink of the day, which is my work-sponsored coffee. Every Monday, my boss is awesome and gets us all our coffee orders. This one's not too bad. It's a tall, just one of those iced hazelnut oat milk shaken espresso. But yeah, I usually get it in the tall, so it's not as much espresso, but still enough for me to get that little bit of caffeine boost without having anything that's like super drying to the vocal cords, especially because now it's been a little bit, so the ice has kind of like melted down, so it's still cool, but it's not like cold, which is nice. And then also, I've got my, guys, I don't have my gimbal, sorry. My hand's all in the way. But I've got my beef bulgogi salad, which is nice as well because it's got all of the leafy greens in there, and that's great for hydration. It's got some other vegetables as well, so it's really nice to hydrate the vocal cords. And it's a little bit spicy. It's not too bad, so I don't think it's going to cause too much acidity, but you know, hopefully it'll kind of clear some of the muck out. Good morning. It's now the next day. It's Tuesday. I was gonna show you some more stuff that I was doing vocally yesterday, but of course I went to look for my book that had kind of my standard songs that I usually like to sing, because the one that I'm going to sing for this audition was in there, and I swear I looked through every inch of my house. I don't have a big house, and I cannot for the life of me find my book. It's so wild. So that kind of sucks because the song that I am going to sing, I haven't sung it in a while. And, you know, it had markings in there that I think I can replicate from what I can remember, but like it just sucks that there's a chance that potentially I'm going to miss something. So spending a lot of time doing that, and then I got really frustrated and everything else. So I'll definitely be showing you more for the rest of the week here, but I'll show you a few other things I'm doing. I am working from home this week, which is really nice, so I have a little more flexibility to show you some of the other things that I'm doing to help myself out for Friday. Let me show you. So first things first, even before I have any sort of breakfast or anything, I take some pills in the morning, and the one that I've included is vitamin D. I believe it's 2,000 units, and I guess vocal health as well. I can't exactly remember what about vitamin D is like beneficial, but also being in Seattle, people who live in Seattle in the Northwest for a long period of time are just automatically deficient in vitamin D. I just decided I was gonna save my caffeine intake for around lunchtime, which it's not that time just yet, but I'll be doing more of my work from home stuff with my echinacea tea. Figured I'll start out with something warm here. Alright, it's now lunchtime and I am going to eat this. It's called jinjajang. I don't know if I'm saying it right. It is a Korean noodle dish. I got it from this Korean store, just like instant noodles, but it's the sauce is this like black bean type sauce. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of see that. It's pretty tasty. I do like it a lot. So it's my kind of lazy work from home lunch, and it's really not all that spicy at all. It's just very like rich and won't do anything to my vocal cords. Of course, it's got lots of protein from the beans, so yeah, it's all good. tonight. I saw you and the world went away. Good morning. It's Wednesday. It's 2 days before the audition. I just got done taking my vitamin D, my morning pills and everything. Got some water to start hydrating. It's a little bit different today because I was selected to be an actor for a reading of an excerpt from a play for Theater Puget Sound's Playwright Pitch Day, and show you how that all works. Since this is just a pitch and not like a full-on performance per se, or it's like, I should say it's like a pared down performance, I don't have to do anything crazy as far as, makeup, hair, all that good stuff. I am still gonna put a little something on because we will be on stage, so I want my face to show up a little bit better. I do think that there is a benefit, especially when you are pitching this thing to a bunch of different theaters, that is helpful for them to maybe kind of get hints of the visual language of the show. I think that these pants are nice because I can dress them up or dress them down. When I kind of read the description about Paula, I definitely was thinking green. Alright, I'm back now, and it all went really well. This was, like I said, my first time doing this sort of thing. It was awesome to meet the other actors in the scene. Got to hear the playwright, Pam, her side of things. Basically, she did her intro about herself, the types of plays and poetry, whatnot that she likes to do, as well as more backstory about this show. We even got a little celebratory mimosa after, which was amazing. They actually had it set up for people, like for playwrights and actors after they did their pitch, which was like the coolest thing ever. I haven't done my audition yet for those theaters, but they're in the same space, and so that's the same space where I'm going to be performing on Friday, and it was just really nice to kind of be in the space, get up on stage, see some of the representatives from those theaters who will be there, and just getting the general flavor of the room. So I'm back home now. I need to finish up my work day, my work from home day, but that's cool. I don't think it's the end of the world, but I was like really trying hard to avoid as much dairy as possible this week, just because dairy on the vocal cords, a lot of times it encourages more mucus formation on the vocal cords. I got like a bacon sandwich deal from Starbucks, and I'm like halfway through it, I'm like, oh, there's cheese on this. I'm like, that's probably not the end of the world. And then I also am like talking about dinner with David, and we're like, yeah, let's get pizza or whatever. It has dairy. What the heck? Oh, it is what it is, I guess. But at least with this guy here, I'm just realizing that, like, because I got it iced, there's also probably more milk in this than like last time when it was just the foam. Bruh. Good morning, everyone. It's audition day. Woo! I didn't show much of yesterday just because it was a lot of the same. I was feeling a certain way about my voice and everything, and I was just taking some time to again do a little bit of soul searching, be like, hey, you know, this is supposed to be fun. And you know, I've always had an issue with like going into something and being like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is fun, and then like the perfectionist side of me like getting all like super into the technical stuff, and you know, it's a problem I've had my whole life. So it just, you prep and then you just kind of let things go and you perform, and you know, you put it all out there. And the most important thing is to focus on being as truthful as possible in the circumstances of the scene. So that is going to be the main focus today, and of course focusing on the things that bring me joy about performing, because that is the most important thing. So yesterday was pretty good. Like things were like, I feel like mostly clear. They're a little less clear today. Well, of course, you know, a little more stuffed up there. So I'm a little concerned with trying to like do a sinus rinse before this. I just, because sometimes like when I do a sinus rinse, it'll like really aggravate the pathways before making things better, and so I don't want to inadvertently like do something. So I think I'll do it, but it'll probably be later, like after the audition. I got a little bit of extra sleep. I was able to sleep in today. I think I'll also probably I'm like, do I want a little bit of caffeine? Maybe I'll have a little bit, but it'll be like from green tea or something. So doing that too. And then of course, yeah, practicing. I have to say I kind of feel like a badass right now because one, I like how I did my hair. I have to pin that down a little bit, but I like how I did it. I feel like it's definitely the look I was going for, especially because my hair is kind of greasy. And also my shirt, I somehow got foundation on it. And so I did like a last minute, like sort of, I don't know, kind of deep clean thing. It's drying right now. I got most of the stain off, so yay, time to warm up. I totally forgot to give examples of me warming up some more, but that's okay. I'm just going to do a little run through of my song. Yay! Tonight, tonight, it all began tonight. I saw you and the world went away. Dream of me. Little issue, going from more of a chest to a head voice. That's something that I will need to work on post audition. I'll try this one more time. Tonight, tonight, it all began tonight. I saw you and the world went away. Good night, good night. Sleep well, and when you dream, dream of me. I think maybe the third one sounded the smoothest. I guess I'll watch these back, figure it out. All right, here it is. Here's the look. I'm very pleased with it. I'm excited for the audition. I should have like thrown this in the dryer or something. The sleeve is still so freaking wet, so I'm gonna bring like a little towel and just like try to like soak up the water on the bus. So anyway, wish me luck. See you guys after. All right, well, I just finished the audition. I think it went pretty well. I'll debrief a little more when I get home, but for now I am going to grab a little treat for myself. I was trying to decide between like coffee or bubble tea, and I definitely think it's a bubble tea day. Okay, I'm finally back. A little
breakdown of what happened for everybody this year. If you were doing singing and monologue, then everybody automatically got 3 minutes. And that was like really, really nice actually. It went really, really well. The monologue did. I decided to finish with that one. I got some laughs with that monologue, which was fantastic. That's what I wanted, especially the last line. And as for the song, this week it's taught me a lot. I've learned a lot about what I need to do going forward as far as working with my voice. I mean, really the main thing is to get this stupid sinus infection under control. Once I get that figured out, once I get this cleared out, doing some actual voice lessons. I'll have to look around to see if that's possible. I realized that it's definitely was a privilege pre-COVID times to have more people around who were doing in-person lessons. There's really, as far as I know, there's really not that many in Seattle. And then another thing that I realized is that, I guess you could say this with any instrument, how environmental factors and different things can change the sound of the instrument. And the voice, especially for singing specifically, that is an instrument. And, you know, I remember people saying that in the past, and, you know, I was always just like, yeah, okay. But I didn't really take it to heart. But getting older now, you know, realizing that it's like, no, we're not invincible. That does impact your instrument, right? But also because it's an instrument that is part of your body, so it's not just this separate thing that you can like put away in the case and, you know, change and blah, 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 and try to control things. Like, there are definitely things that are just out of your control. So it's like you've got this instrument that you're going to use, and then every like fall, winter, your instrument is susceptible to crud and whatever. I mean, and that is like kind of crazy to think about, but obviously you have to live your life. The lesson I've learned there is that you can develop technique, but there is only so much that, you know, technique can do to like fix certain things. And that's okay, right? Because it's your voice and it's an ever-changing biological thing, and that there is beauty in that. I also think that a lot of times people get so fixated on doing a thing that is going to sound, you're trying to replicate that nice sound every single time in the like exact way. And with singing, that's not going to be the case. I mean, you see that even with you know, like pop singers at concerts and stuff. Not that it's like, oh, they're good one day and then bad another day. It's just like they're gonna sound different depending on the day, and that's okay, because that is the nature of the voice and it reacting to the environment and all these different things. Trying to keep that in mind more is also what I'm hoping to focus on, and embracing some of those good things. I think maybe I've like got set in certain habits that I can get myself out of, and I just want to be able to embrace what is natural and unique about my own voice. So like, I am at this point where I'm done trying to sound like every other musical theater person, you know, trying to mimic that specific technique, you know, because I don't think that that's my voice. And what I mean by that is like, there's a particular way, like kind of in general, musical theater style of singing tends to be, it's kind of, I just shouldn't say in the nose, like you're not singing through your nose, but it is like a little, your, I don't know, vocal cords and your throat and everything. I don't know, you're like putting the sound more like up here, I guess. And so you're like up here. And that helps because if you're in like a bigger theater and you are singing up in like that area of your throat, then the sound gets out, you know, and travels further. So like there's benefit to that. But within that, there are certain sounds that are kind of like trendy and have been trendy for a while in musical theater. And, you know, I thought that I had to modify my voice to fit that so that I could do theater in any capacity. And, you know, that's just not it for me. But overall, I'm still very glad that I did it. I'm looking forward to what's to come. I had really good time at the Playwright Pitch Festival part of the week, as well as this audition, and hopefully I hear back from some people. Yeah, but I've already got some other things lined up. I'm picking up working with my dad on the pilot script again tonight, so that's gonna be really exciting. I got an audition for a commercial that I'll be working on this weekend, so that's awesome. I will have to get more details on the full breadth of my role in this production, but I will be doing a production of Hamlet in August. And I don't know what my primary role is, but I know that I will also be understudying Ophelia, which is so cool. And I am guaranteed at least 2 performances, so that's awesome too. Yeah, and that's just a few fun things. So thank you so much for joining me on this elongated diary entry of this non-famous actor. If this was very interesting for you and you want to see more stuff like this, definitely let me know. I would love to share more of my thoughts and my journey on this. Comment on specific things that you like, or if you have any advice. Again, like, subscribe if you want more, all of the things. So have a great weekend. Thanks guys. Bye.